Today, my guest is former WWE Women's Champion, Divas Champion, and the Diva Search Champion, Miss Layla. Oh, and she's also one half of the most iconic women's tag teams of all time, LayCool. Layla, how are you today?
Thank you. I am doing very well. Thank you so much. How are you?
I can't complain. It's been a little bit of a busy day, but I'm glad that we have the time to sit down and talk a little bit about your career.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, what made you want to get into professional wrestling, and how did professional wrestling come into your life?
Honestly, I didn't want to get into professional wrestling. Not like, I feel like I looked at it and was like, oh, I never want to get into that. It was just never a thought or an option in my mind. And I was dancing for the Miami Heat. And I guess they were recruiting for the Diva Search in 2006. And it was when MySpace was out, which is probably way out of your time. But so some this lady, Allison from the casting department in WWE, reached out to me and asked me, if I wanted to do it. And my first thought was like, no, what the hell was that? And then it just dawned on me one day. It was the day of the actual audition because she kept reaching out. And I just was like, why not? Let's go. So I got up out of bed. I went. I literally emailed her like, I'm on my way. I'm on my way. And it was a hurricane. It was like hurricane season in Miami. And I was like, literally, I missed the audition. But the casting lady Jane, held the audition for me. Bless her. It was 5 minutes in, and that was it. And then I left, and then I heard back. So that's how it happened.
What was that audition process like? Were they looking for wrestlers, or were they looking for divas at that time?
No, come on. They were looking for beautiful girls. And even I don't want to say beautiful girls, but you know what I mean. Like they were looking for the stereotypical kind of thing. Literally, it was in the audition. It was like, bring a bikini, right? And then it was like, bring your personality. So, okay. So it was in a tent. It wasn't even it wasn't even inside. It wasn't anything. It was like literally in a tent. But then remember, I was late, so it might not have been in a tent, but that's what it was for me. So she was like, okay, come in. You got a camera right in front of you. And she's like, okay, like do the regular audition thing that you do, you like slate, whatever. And then she's like, okay, take your clothes off. There we go, took your clothes off and said a little something. And that was it. That was it. That was it. That was the whole part of that like initial process for the Diva Search.
How long after that did you know that or did they reach out and let you know that they were interested in having you a part of it?
Within a week, not even that, within a week, and they had flights for Vegas for me and everything. Not Vegas, California, Los Angeles, and they said, hey, it's the big audition. You've got, I think, was it 1,000? I want to say it was 1,000 girls. So they had 1,000 girls, but something in my gut told me, you know what? If they're paying for your flight and they're paying for your hotel to come out to Los Angeles, you might have a shot at this. So just go. You get a trip to California. It's like, I've been to California, but I was like, hey, I get to go to California. I was already in my 20s. So it was like, why not? So it was very instant. Everything happened instant. So the process started in like June, right? And then, was it June? I think it was June the process started, and I won the Diva Search, I think, August 16th. So it was just like instant. Once they told you to top 8, that was it. It was within a week. We were at TV, just like that. So it was a very fast process.
What was your initial thoughts of being around the WWE and that atmosphere?
I was like, this is crazy. That was my first reaction. I was like, what the hell is this? This is crazy. And when we first got there, the actual I guess talent relations manager wasn't there the first week, so we didn't really know what was going on. And then the second week that the talent relations manager and also the executive producer of WWE came in, had a meeting with us in a small little rock room, and they gave us like some advice. Try to keep to yourselves. Don't date the guys. What else was it? Yeah, that was pretty much the only ones I remember. So I stayed to myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like I really didn't, I really didn't interact with much. I would go get my food in the canteen, and I would literally come back and just stay in the locker room because I just wanted to kind of like follow the rules. Plus, it just seemed like a very like it just wasn't an environment that I knew that I couldn't be too boisterous or too loud, stuff like that. So I just kept myself away because then I stay out of trouble, right? If you're not seen, you're going to be in trouble, kind of thing.
Did it feel like they had a plan while this was going on?
A plan for who was going to win?
For the Diva search, like, or was it just like a sporadic, okay, you guys go out now?
No, I think they had plans. They had like things mapped out and stuff like that. I think they already had everything planned. We just followed, we just followed the rules, followed the schedule. We're here, go that. I don't know if that necessarily, I don't think they knew who was going to get eliminated, to my knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think everyone thought that one other girl was going to win besides me? 100%. I do believe that, but do I think it was fixed either? No, because I won, so it couldn't have been fixed.
So what was your reaction to winning the Diva search?
Shock. Absolute shock. Like literally, like I legit did not think I had a chance. Like I was really, really nervous, and I was like at one point really mad at myself because I'm like, why did I put myself in a situation? I hate competing. I hate like, what if I get embarrassed in front of flipping the whole world?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, why would I do this to myself? Because every time the girls got eliminated, it was kind of, but now looking at it, it's not. But at that time, for me, I was very scared of like being embarrassed or humiliated or taking rejection. So when I won, because there was even a lady backstage who told me, she's like, just so you know, you're not going to win, right? Be prepared. Just before we went into the final, she's like, you're not going to win. And then she was doing it in a good, like, it was out of like love and genuine. She wasn't trying to hurt my feelings. She was just trying to prep me. And then I won. So I'm forever grateful for it. Very shocked. I will always be thankful to the fans. Mm-hmm. Always. New York at the actual Diva Search finale, they treated me so well. They were chanting my name. They showed me so much love. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. So I will always, always be grateful to the fans.
Did they know what they wanted to do with you after you won the Diva Search? Because I noticed something, like when they did the searches and then they did Tough Enough, it's like, okay, we have a winner, but now what do we do?
Absolutely not. Nothing. And especially if I couldn't wrestle either, so what's they going to do with me? Like, it makes no sense. But I wasn't allowed to go train because I'd already been on TV, so it was like, if you go train, then you're going to lose your fan base. So I was kept on TV. They put me out there in a couple of matches with I didn't even know how to take a bump. I didn't know anything. So it was like they had no clue for me. And then I think what happened was, I think they were like, oh, but she can dance. And then we have Kelly, because Kelly and I started at the same time. They're like, well, why don't we make that a troupe? Like, why don't we make them, like something special? So thank God I could dance. Thank God I could choreograph. And I did Extreme Exposé. So that saved me because I could be on the road dancing, be at all the TVs, be at all the live events, and train. And that's what I did. That's what I had to do. And then even after that, I don't think they really had like much plans for me, but things just panned out for me. I'm a very, very fortunate person.
When it came time for you to start training and making that transition, where did they send you to train?
They didn't. I trained on the road. So we do, like, we used to do live events, which is like shows, like wrestling shows that were not televised. And we would get there early. So you would get there 3 or 4 hours early before the show, and Fit Finley would train us. He would put us through, like, he would train us. I will forever be grateful to that man. He would literally train us. He would make us, like, we were sweating. We were just like, ow, like, you know what I mean? My body was completely bruised up, but thank goodness for that, because I was getting paid on TV, and then at the same time I was able to train without having to go to anywhere. I used to go down to FCW and train there, like, if I could, but with the road schedule, that was pretty hard. I did train somewhere in LA too. just once, but nothing, you know. So my training was just before the shows, at TV shows, and that's it. And then Michelle taught me so much.
Mm-hmm.
She taught me a lot. Working with Michelle, totally. Working with all the other girls who were actually like amazing wrestlers, like Mickey James, Melina, they like literally showed me the ropes, whether during action. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like this is how it goes. I will always be grateful for that.
What was your initial thoughts getting in the ring and training and taking these bumps? And were you like, what the hell did I sign up for? Or...
I was like, what the hell? Like this flipping hurts. Like I don't care what anybody says. Hitting the ropes when we used to have to train, like hitting the ropes back and forth, back and forth. Like I was like, this flipping hurts. Who the hell says this doesn't hurt? Like this really hurts. And the bumps, like I felt like an old woman. Like I'd be like walking around like But you get used to it. You get used to it. So at first I was like, I can't do this. I was like, I don't want to do this. I can't do it. Like I used to go through my mind like I cannot. Especially when I get hit really hard sometimes. And I just be like, why am I doing this again? But I got used to it and I fell in love with wrestling. And I'm glad that I stuck around and made it work for myself, you know?
Mm-hmm. How long did you do this before you were comfortable with what you were doing with wrestling in the ring, and it just felt right and natural for you?
I would say until about 2011, 2012, going forward. But there were still times that I was like, oh my God. I was always nervous before I went out there. Always nervous, but I felt like I could go out there and at least have a match. At least I could at least keep up with the girls. I understood. I could at least someone could call a match for me and I'd be like to follow, you know? Not that I could call it much because I don't know, not really. But I could at least follow or put on a match. So I felt good about that from about 2010. Yeah. Especially during LayCool. Like I feel like LayCool was kind of like my breakout era.
Mm-hmm. And that would be teaming with somebody, working with somebody, being with somebody on the road had to have been a more natural transition and an easier thing to learn, and more like momentum going into it because it's something that you're not doing alone, and having someone like Michelle at your side and going through these ropes and doing this is probably a great way to learn.
It was absolutely the best way to learn. Like Michelle is an amazing wrestler. She's so giving, you know, and she would encourage me and she would tell me the truth. If something looks terrible, it's like she's like, no, don't do that. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
and it's so nice when you have somebody that you can trust.
Mm-hmm.
So you know that someone's not going to go, yeah, it looks great. Just go ahead, do it. Yeah, you look great. No, she would tell me the truth, and I love that. And she did. She put a lot of effort into me, a lot of guidance, and I will forever be grateful to Michelle. Michelle gave me literally the best moments of my life. I'm getting all emotional about it because it's like there isn't anything like it. I couldn't have asked for a better partner in the ring. I couldn't
Mm-hmm.
have asked for a friend. She was everything that I needed, and forever we will always like remember that time. I know we will always remember that time in our career because we had a great moment. We bonded well. I think it was very clear about our chemistry on TV. I think people could see that we generally cared about each other. We're friends, and we wanted to go out there and entertain and put a show on for the crowd. And I think we did do that. I think we did.
Before LayCool happened, what did it? Was there ever a time where you thought that this wasn't gonna last forever? Like, because back then it was like ECW, SmackDown, Raw. You kind of like throwing something against the wall and seeing what sticks with a lot of the talent in that specific time frame, I feel. And then they would draft them, and then they would send them. Was there ever, because you managed, you danced, you wrestled, was there ever a time that it was just a difficult time before LayCool?
I actually thought that I was gonna get fired just before like LayCool happened because I was with William Regal on Raw. I think it was like 2008, 2009. Don't hold me because I'm not really certain on the times, but and I got drafted to SmackDown. So I thought that I was probably gonna get fired. You know what I mean? Because if I can't wrestle now, or if I'm not getting any momentum, then they're not gonna keep me. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But LayCool wasn't supposed to happen with me anyway, me and Michelle. LayCool, Stephanie wanted to do a Mean Girl angle.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Alicia Fox was going to do that with Michelle. But I don't know what happened. they threw me out there with Michelle to kind of keep Mickey and her apart, right? So that it, or was it Melina? I can't remember if it was Melina or Mickey. I want to say Mickey. They wanted to keep us apart, so they were throwing me out there just to have odd matches and to just until the pay-per-views and stuff like that. And the connection between Michelle and I was just undeniable, and it just built and built and built and built. Did I even think they were going to break us up? No. I think they would have kept us together for a lot longer than we were. We had like a 2.5 year run, and if Michelle didn't want to retire, I still believe LayCool could have gone on for a year more than that. So no, I don't think they were gonna. And I wasn't concerned about that either, because I knew that we had formed a strong stable, and it was something that people were enjoying, and it was also something people weren't enjoying. But was it getting a reaction? Was it the first time that the Divas were actually getting heat? Yeah. So no, I did not feel like they were going to break us up, and I wish it would have gone on longer, because it was like the highlight of my career. So.
What was it like winning gold in WWE?
Oh my God. Who would have thought that I would have won gold? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you look back, it's like, who? If you watch when I won the actual women's championship, it was in Beth Phoenix's hometown. It was against her. It was a handicap match. And initially, it was supposed to be Vicky Guerrero winning the title. It wasn't supposed to go to me at all. But because I was on live events all the time, and I was, wrestling and stuff like that, and I believe Fit Finley pushed for me and encouraged for me to get the gold. So when he told me, he's like, hey, you're winning the title tonight, I was like, okay. The whole day, just like, okay. And he's like, no, for real. And I just did not believe him. I'm waiting the whole time. I'm waiting even when we go out from Gorilla. I'm waiting in the match for someone to go, Layla, don't fall out the ring. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just waiting. And I won. And I remember the crowd was crickets. If you watch it back, like, it was like crickets, because nobody would ever expect that I would win it. And so to me, it was the same thing. I remember I cried backstage to Kofi. I was like, oh my God, it's me. Because I knew, wow, they actually are giving me an opportunity. It is a big opportunity. And this is something that I never thought would ever happen. And I do believe I'm the first Diva Search to win that title, Diva Search winner to win that title, I think. So it was like, wow, like, now I get to show what I can do. Now it's time to like be able to have the attention on me and prove what I can do and do this. So it was like, and it was a dream of mine. I never shared it with anybody because I never thought it would come true. So a very, very amazing, very touching moment for me. I'm very, very happy and privileged that I was even a part of, WWE.
How was having that Diva Search title? Was that something that worked for you backstage, or was it mixed emotions during that time period?
No, it wasn't, I guess, great, for wrestlers. And I understand, you know what I mean? I look back at it now and I'm like, yeah, I get People's point. So it was always like the Diva Search winner, like, so I knew my place. I knew to be quiet and stuff like that. And even if you look at like my first match I ever had, JBL was actually the commentator, and he would not call my match. So being a Diva Search winner, and I totally understand it, but I didn't make the rules. I didn't make the decision. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm just a girl who got an opportunity, took it, and ran with it, kind of thing. But in that era back then, it was not a good thing. It was like, who the hell is she to get all that money and she's never taken a bump? And I see both sides of it. And then I always say to people, well, I agree with that, but also, what would you have done if someone offered you that kind of money, that kind of life, and an opportunity in your 20s? Would you take it? So it is what it is. And even to this day, they still look down at the Divas. And I honestly disagree. I feel like we did everything we could with what the limitations that we were given to do. So that's all you can say. So not everyone was happy, nice, somewhat outright horrible, but hey, that's life.
How did it feel to have someone like Fit Finley in your corner during all this?
Oh my God. Fit Finley, like, come on, he's amazing. His family is legendary. Very, 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 very special, very honored, very grateful to Fit. Fit was like the savior to all the Divas. Like, Every diva would go to Fit for advice, training. They would cry. I can't even imagine how many tears Fit has had on his like shoulders because the girls would cry to him. He was like our therapist too. He's an angel. Honestly, he's an angel. And I guarantee you, any diva you ask is going to mention that Fit Finley is amazing.
When do you feel like that perception of the Diva Search started to change in people's minds? For you specifically, backstage.
Um, for me, definitely when I was in LayCool. Definitely when I was in LayCool. It started building once I was like on the road and I was like training with the girls and I
Mm-hmm.
had matches and stuff like that. But once I was in LayCool and LayCool was doing really well, I felt like I was treated differently for sure.
How was being in LayCool and having all that momentum behind you and having the audience either love you or hate you? Like it was a big deal.
Oh my God. Looking back at it now, I appreciate it so much. I really do. Like I didn't know what I had because when you're in it, you
Hmm.
just but now when I look back, it's like wow, like that that was amazing because we were able to entertain people, we were able to make people laugh, we made people cry, make people angry. We were able to have people want to beat us up, and we got to do that. That was my job, and I got to entertain because that's the whole point. If the crowd's not into it, then what is the point? So to be a part of that, man, unforgettable moments. Just and especially at that time because we were divas, we were only
Hmm.
given like a short period of time. We were given what hardly any time to do anything. Like our matches, we needed to get over, we needed to get the crowd involved, we needed to tell the story, we needed entrances. So for what we had to do and the way that WWE even like they really did. Like I'm not saying that the WWE didn't give WWE gave us time. They gave us the opportunity. They believed in us enough that they let us do things that the divas weren't doing. We had like the first tables match. We were the first pros in NXT. They did back LayCool. So to me, that was just like they do believe in us. I love my career. I do. The regrets, the positive negatives. I love my career. And LayCool was definitely my favorite part of it.
Is there any particular moments during LayCool that stand out more than others for you specifically?
Yeah, there's so many, but one I'd have to say was when Mae Young did the old school, the old school show when we came out and interrupted her and she basically had a match with me and she called us. I don't know if I can say it. Is this PG?
No, you're good.
Okay, she said like let me have a match with these little sluts. That totally threw us off. That was legit. Like we were completely shocked that she just said that. Like that to me and her winning over us, that was a great segment. I'll always remember that. Very funny. The crowd broke that. Like the crowd, I've never heard them laugh so hard. I love my moments with Vicky with LayCool. We had some great times. I loved the match where Kelly had to defend the World Heavyweight Championship with Edge as her tag team partner.
Hmm.
That was legendary. The tables match. Um, and also when Michelle and I broke up. Loser leaves match. That will always stick with me too. Because we bawled our eyes out like you wouldn't believe.
How emotional a moment was that for you guys?
Oh my God, it was very tearful. It was very surreal. Like I got back to Gorilla and I was watching her because Karma came out, and before Karma came out, they let her like just she was in the ring for a while and she was legit crying. Like I know Michelle. That was her crying because that was it. And she had a great farewell. The crowd was chanting. You know what I mean? It
Hmm.
was and then when she came back for Gorilla, we just hugged each other. We were like just hugging each other. Like I think the whole world was kind of tuned out to us, and we just hugged each other. And man, I still can't believe it was today. Like that was
Hmm.
it. It was it. But it was great. It was great. Forever will be in my life. Forever in my heart. That was a great time in my life.
Did you know what you wanted to do next once you knew that Michelle was retiring?
No, I didn't. And I got injured that night. So
Hmm.
I got injured that afternoon before the match. I wrestled that match with a torn ACL and a torn MCL. So, yeah, I was taken out. I was out for a year. I had a surgery and everything. So no, I didn't. I really did. And the plan was already made. I was hurt. So we both ended up leaving on the same kind of like same time frame kind of thing.
Did you know what you wanted to do after WWE, or when it came time for you to leave? Was that a hard decision to make?
Very hard. Very hard decision because it became like my identity at one
Hmm.
point. Like it became everything I did. But I was getting older and it was just like I didn't have any ideas and I just became very stale for myself
Hmm.
as well, I'm sure for the audience because it was just not. And what I really, really wanted to do once I left was I wanted to do nothing. I wanted to do nothing. I
Hmm.
wanted to sit home. I wanted to watch TV. Didn't want to travel. I didn't travel. I just wanted to have like a boring life for a little bit because I had to adjust
Hmm.
to to just I guess just not always being on TV, not always like trying to look my best. I just wanted to I
Hmm.
can breathe. And that's how it felt, to be honest with you.
How was the travel schedule for the whole time you were there?
Oh my God. Oh my God. So like if you want me to break it down for you a little bit or you just
Hmm.
want me to just
Yeah.
say it's a big deal?
Yep.
Okay. So for instance, let's say on a good week. So on a good week, I would leave Friday. So wherever I am, I would fly out Friday, crack of dawn, like 3, 4, whatever, get to the city. If it's if we have to drive to the next city, then we'll get the car, drive to the next city, go to the gym, right? Then
Hmm.
go to the arena, do the show. Okay, now drive to the next city or drive halfway. The show Saturday. Then after Saturday show, drive Sunday. After Sunday show, okay, drive to TV. Now TV starts the whole day. You got to get in at 2, but you got to get to the gym first prior to that. So you go to the gym, get to the arena. You're there for 12 to 14 hours. After that show, you got another drive. 4 or 5 hours, maybe 3, depends sometimes. Get to that show. Okay, do Tuesday. Okay, Tuesday you get to relax unless you have to drive to another city to catch a flight if it's a small city. That's a good week. I mean, that's a lot. Then you get home Wednesday, right? So you
Hmm.
get home Wednesday, fly out, you get home Wednesday. I would sleep all of Wednesday, then you got Thursday, run all errands, blah, 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 whatever you got done. Friday, here we go again. So now, if it was, say, it was when we have like European tours, which was 2 weeks. So then you would fly out Friday. You would do the same. So you do shows Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then you would do TV Monday, TV Tuesday. Then from then you would fly to Europe. From Europe, you would fly every single day, or you will drive. In coach though, whatever, after the show, before the show, you have 16 days of different show, different arenas, da, 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 da. Then on the, you have 2 at least TV days, right?
Hmm.
2 or 4, yeah, four. Because then you go 1 week in Europe, then another week in Europe, then you fly home, then you fly back to the States, then you've got, and then you've got TV 2 days, then you get home that Wednesday. So some days I would be gone like 21 days, 16 days, 18 days. What kind of like? And people are like, well, where are you? And like who knows? Who knows, right? So it was tough. Grueling. And then once they had NXT, sometimes you have to add that to your schedule too. But I don't regret it. But
Yeah.
that was what it was. It was very, very grueling and very intense and not for the weak-hearted.
How long did it take your body to adjust just sitting at home?
Oh my God, I gained so much weight. I was like, I don't even care. Like I gained so much weight. It was I literally like took 2 to 3 months of just doing nothing kind of thing. And I'd say about 3 months. And then my mind had like slowly adapted to the new lifestyle about that time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you can't just be like, okay, I left, I'm gonna sleep in. I'm sure your body was like, nope, you're up this time for a while.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. It was odd, or it'd be like, "Did I miss my flight? What time is it? What time is it?" A little bit, and then I was like, "No, I don't have to go anywhere. I could sit right here." So it was okay. Yeah, that's what it was.
So how has life been after WWE, and what made you want to start doing these wrestling appearances and getting back into the mix?
Life's been good. I would say very calm, very quiet. Um, and then I don't know, I just got the itch again. I was just like, "Hey, I forgot I had a career. I forgot I used to,
Hmm.
let me go on social media. Let me see." And then I was like, "Hey." Let me go out there one more time before I'm like I don't know, too old that I can't even bend over, or too old before I might not get to do anything. And I actually want to do a LayCool reunion. I really do. I would love to do something because I said I didn't want to do anything. Like I
Hmm.
was like, oh, never again. But I'm like, now I'm like, maybe I do. If it's there and the
Hmm.
option is there, why not? Why not? So I think the fans would want to see it. So why not?
The landscape seems like it's completely different, and a LayCool reunion, I feel like is something a lot of people would want to see.
I hope so. I hope so. I want to see it. I want to see it, but I hope the fans want to see it, and that's what's going to make, I guess, the difference. If they want to see it, then,
Hmm.
we can push for it more.
So, would you be willing to go back if you could go back to WWE? How would you want to do it? How would you? Would it just be for LayCool? Would it be
Absolutely.
you don't want to
Yeah,
go
I
back
don't
and
want to.
promote all those dates?
Oh God, you're too old for that. No, I'm too old for that. No, no. But if anything happens with WWE, it would for me definitely LayCool. I would love to go back for a Royal Rumble. I couldn't in the past, kind of thing. But if it happens in the next coming up few years, yes. But what I would really love to do is a LayCool appearance. I really think that that would be just, you know,
Hmm.
I would love to, reconnect with my best friend and, share that moment again.
If you had any advice for anybody getting into professional wrestling, what would it be?
One, study your craft. Definitely study your craft. Find somebody who has been in the business or somebody who has knowledge about the business, like a mentor. Have somebody who tells you the truth.
Hmm.
Don't let somebody lie to you because you don't want to make a fool of yourself out there in front of all these fans and people. You need someone who's going to tell you, no, that looks stupid, or no, that is not a good idea. Stay true to who you are, your character, because people will, once you get up there, people will change you and try to tell you don't do this, don't do that. And I feel like the most successful wrestlers are the ones who said, no, this is
Hmm.
who I am, and followed their lead, followed their heart and what they knew was a better character for themselves than what was being told for them to portray out there. And that would be my advice.
That's very, very sound and good advice to have, especially for professional wrestling.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Learn the politics backstage.
How long has it been since you've been in that WWE atmosphere?
I retired July 28th. Look at me, I know. July 28th, 2015. So that's been a while. It's nearly 10 years.
Was
What?
was that your last time like visiting or going or talking to people?
Yes. Not talking to people,
Yeah.
but there was a last time that I was backstage, last time that I was like, anything on TV or anything related to WWE. Yeah.
I know that a lot of people have asked you certain questions regarding upcoming events, but I feel I won't do that because I know you would rather keep it a surprise for people, and I understand that and I respect that. But I will say that I think whatever decision happens in the next 4 weeks' time, that people will know who you are, will remember LayCool. They will erupt if Layla does make an appearance. I don't know, TV in a couple of weeks.
TV, do you mean Hall of Fame? Is that what you're
Mhm.
saying?
Mhm.
So, you're gonna have to tune in for that. My lips are completely 100% sealed. As much as I love you guys, but I just can't. I can't share any information.
Do you think that if you don't have to, it's sealed, your lips are sealed, but if that crowd would erupt if you did make an appearance, would that be an emotional moment for you?
Oh my God, do you think they would erupt? Oh my God, I would cry my. If the fans even remember who I am, I would cry my eyes out. God, I'm getting emotional now because it feels like so long ago. But I feel like the divas have been treated awful.
Hmm.
We're like and hated on so much. So if anybody remembers me or the fans like cheer for LayCool, like it would seem like, wow, see, my career did mean something. Yeah.
Layla, your career did mean something. Thank you for what you've
Aw.
done for professional wrestling. Thank you for everything that you've done. Thank you for the sacrifices that you made. I know probably specifically for that time period, it wasn't an easy time to be a Diva Search woman, Diva Search winner, or a woman wrestling, or just the landscape seems like it's completely different. So thank you for sticking around as long as you did and putting
Thank
up with
you.
what you had to. And you've had an amazing career, and I hope this is not the last time that we see Layla.
Oh, thank you so much. That's very sweet of you. Thank you, hon. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate your time today. Where can people reach out to you at?
I am on Instagram if you want to find me. It's LayL. That's LayLayel. I am also on Twitter, which is Miss Layel. So MSLayel. I am also having a podcast that will launch very soon. It's called LayTalk. It's going to be dedicated to the Diva era. It's also going to give you insight on different people, different divas' careers, and also insight on some of the stuff that happened backstage that you guys would never, ever, ever get to know. I'm going to have the divas actually on the show, so it's not just going to be me talking. I'm going to get interviews with most of the divas, if not all of the divas, and just to show you that the diva era was something, it was significant,
Mm-hmm.
and to go back down memory lane, and also to see where your divas are now, what they're up to, what they're doing, what they feel about the new generation. It's going to be just a great, great podcast if you guys are Diva fans. And if you do want to learn some more stuff about the Diva Search
Mm-hmm.
girls as well, and how the women were treated back then in that time, in that era. And then you guys can make a decision like, was the Divas that bad? I don't know. It's going to be called LayTalk. So that will be out soon.
Well, if there's ever anything that I can do, please feel free to reach out.
Thank you, hon. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time today.